Okay, picture this. A future Earth is basically ruined. We're talking exploding suns, molten sand, sulfuric acid seas, awful stuff. And right in the middle of that, you've got an archaeologist, Bernice Summerfield Kane, dealing with the marriage that's falling apart. And what does she do? She goes looking for Noah's Ark. But what she finds, well, it's older, way older, and frankly, terrifying. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving headfirst into Jim Mortimore's novel Eternity Weeps. You've shared some amazing excerpts, and it's this incredible mix as an archaeology, cosmic horror, really intense personal drama. Our mission today is to sort of peel back the layers. We got Bernice's messed up marriage, this ancient alien species fighting to survive, and somehow it all connects. It shapes not just one future, but maybe two.
It really does. And what's so grabbing about it right from the start is how it throws these huge universe-spanning events right up against, very human problems. It makes you think what drives people, especially when everything, their personal world, the whole planet seems to be collapsing around them. It's more than just an adventure story, I think. It really explores desperation, survival, resilience.
Absolutely. And for you listening, this deep dive, it's going to show how small choices, things done in personal moments of crisis, can echo across billions of years. Seriously, billions. Expect some real aha moments as we connect the dots. You'll see how this ancient history, this alien stuff, basically rewrites the present we thought we understood. Okay, let's start with Bernice's journal. April 2003. She lays out this picture of Earth, its grim, exploding suns, molten sand, sulfuric acid seas, plus soldiers, senseless violence, civilian casualties, singularities, and sheep. It's quite the list. The world's ending, basically. But for Bernice, her immediate problem feels like her marriage.
Yeah, it's that classic micro-macro thing, isn't it? She's running from what she calls a weird and cubed marriage to Jason Kane, so her escape is archaeology. A solo archaeological indulgence in Turkey, looking for Noah's Ark, get away from the emotional slush pile.
And it's such a human response, right? When the big picture is totally out of control, you focus on something you can control, or at least try to, like digging up the past.
Yeah.
It also tells you a lot about her.
Using her work as a shield, maybe?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And her trip to Turkey? Oh, man, it's chaos.
Yeah.
Think about this. She hires Sven, this crusty Norwegian pilot, flying a mothballed Russian army chopper, which was at least 90 years older than God, dodging a border war, surviving on warm Pepsis, and sheep. Lots of sheep around. The whole thing costs a fortune, over $4,000, charged straight to Jason's Amex.
Ha! That Amex card, it pops up again, doesn't it? It's almost a character in itself. And then she gets there, Dago Bayezid, and who does she literally crash into? Jason. And that reunion. Wow. A 2-minute French kiss immediately followed by a straight left to the jaw. It's not just funny, it's clear. It perfectly captures them. Intense, volatile, but somehow still connected. Even with the world ending, their drama is front and center.
So true. And then they're at the Hotel Royal in this makeshift bar, no booze, just more warm Pepsis, and we meet the rest of the crew, the Ark Hunters. It's such a mixed bag. You got Bill Railson, marine engineer, looks like a 50-year-old Jeff Goldblum. He's using satellite photos, looking on Doggy. Then there's Jim Allen, physicist, engineer, mathematician, speaks clipped, has a neurological dysfunction. He's all about the Bible, searching Mount Ararat. And Candy. She's 63, an artist and archivist, finds beauty everywhere, even in a magnified fly's eye, paints everything. Life's an expedition for her. And let's not forget E.J. Reefer McCormack, student, ponytail, camcorder, and a massive joint he calls the Camberwell Carrot.
It's a fantastic setup. All these different motivations, different methods, focused on one legend. Railson's tech versus Allen's faith.
Yeah.
Candy's artistic view. Reefer just documenting. It really shows how we, as people, approach these big mysteries, doesn't it? Science, religion, art, just plain curiosity, all converging. And that tension between Railson and Allen, the tech guy, and the Bible guy, that's key. How do you weigh evidence, ancient texts versus satellite data?
Exactly. But none of them are getting anywhere because of this border war. Everything's stalled. Until Benny, of course. She's not having it. Pulls out that Amex Platinum, a wedding gift from the doctor, apparently. Slips into major Ray call of the Turkish army. She says 2 minutes later, we were deep in conversation. Boom. Expedition to go.
That's Benny all over, isn't it? Resourceful, maybe a bit. Ethically flexible when needed. Cuts right through the bureaucracy. It shows how when systems fail, sometimes it just takes one person with the right leverage to get things moving. And that moment, bribing the major, it leads directly to them splitting up, which turns out to be incredibly important. 2 different paths heading towards different parts of the same massive truth.
Right. So Jason, still looking wretched, abjectly apologetic, and slightly bloodstained, he kind of gets pushed into joining Alan's team heading to Ararat. Benny goes with Railson to Doggy. She just leaves Jason there. And Jason's trip Dusty roads, military trucks, this landscape that's horrible looking but also suitably biblical. Candy's sketching away, and they're debating this old soldier's letter as crew for the Ark.
That split is crucial. It lets the story explore these different approaches simultaneously. Jason's stuck with the more traditional faith-based search, even though he seems pretty skeptical. While Benny's off with the high-tech gear, it really makes you wonder, are they going to find the same thing? Or just pieces? Different facets of this giant, weird puzzle.
Okay, so on Ararat, Alan's team uses this cool gadget, a frequency generator, normally for sunken ships. But here they're trying to find iron in an artificial configuration. Basically, nails and pegs from a 5,000-year-old wooden boat, which is pretty funny, searching for boat parts hundreds of kilometers from the sea. And Jason, he's just bored, hammering spikes into the ground for the generator, muttering, "Sod, sod, sod," thinking about Benny, ignoring the amazing view.
Yeah, Jason's boredom there. It's relatable, weirdly enough. Even on a quest for Noah's Ark, you can still be miserable about your personal life, but that frequency generator, looking for artificial configurations, it's already hinting that maybe they're looking for something more than just wood and iron. It sets the stage for the big reveal.
And that reveal happens over on Mazardagi. Benny's team finds an Ark site. But it's not a boat. It's a shallow depression, bordered by low walls, shaped like a lens or an eye. Inside, they find these drogue stones, like ancient boat stabilizers. But then Dot, their geologist, analyzes them. They're more than 6 billion years old and not from Earth.
Bam! There it is, the moment everything flips. From human history, biblical legend, straight into deep space, ancient alien territory. 6 billion years old. That's older than the Earth itself, practically. It completely reframes the whole Ark story, what kind of beings were around then, and what were they doing leaving sophisticated, stabilizing stones, where a flood myth would later spring up? It connects our oldest stories to something truly cosmic.
And it gets weirder. Benny notices the stones are changing, disguising itself at a molecular level, maybe even alive. And the creepiest part, the holes drilled in these stones, if you look through them, they all point to the exact same spot on Mount Ararat, where Jason's team is.
Whoa, okay, so not just old alien tech. It's active, maybe intelligent, and connected. The two sites aren't separate finds, they're part of one system, a system that's been hiding, disguising itself for billions of years. That's huge. And just as they figure this out, violence erupts, soldiers attack, Reefer and Dot are killed. Instantly, it shifts again, from wonder and discovery to sudden, brutal danger. Finding this truth comes at a terrible price.
Meanwhile, back on Ararat, things get military. Fast. This Colonel Tammuz shows up, totally ruthless, takes charge of Alan's dig. Ed Levinson, a radar guy, tries to pull the diplomatic immunity card, won't hand over his data. Tammuz just shoots him, kills him right there.
It's brutal, and it shows the stakes immediately. This isn't about archaeology anymore, it's about control. Military power versus scientific discovery. What happens when governments or military factions get wind of something this potent? Ethics go out the window pretty fast. Tammuz sets a terrifying tone.
Yeah. So Benny, she's captured, basically forced to work for Tammuz. But she uses it. She tells him the material is alien, links it to Jim Allen's moon rock.
Yeah.
And she finds something else, under the Tenduric Formation. A perfect cube chamber. She figures out how to open it using these grooves in the corner.
Classic Benny. Even under duress, she's still the archaeologist, still figuring things out.
Yeah.
Using the situation. And that cube, it screams alien. It's not natural. It's a construct, a doorway to something even bigger. And opening it, well, that changes everything again.
It sure does. Inside the cube, a matter transmitter. Zaps Benny, Tammuz, some others, straight to the moon. To an underground American base. They call it Tranquility Base, but Tammuz. He still thinks it's all about uranium, some kind of weapon targeting system he tries to take over there too. That's when Liz Shaw, the base commander, drops the real bombshell. Agent Yellow. It's a terraforming virus. Turns calcium sulfate into sulfur, makes rocks explode, creates sulfuric acid inside living things. It's not a virus, Liz says. It's God. And then there's this alien, immortal, 3 eyes, trying to get an antivirus formula from Liz as she's dying from it.
Okay, hold on. From Turkey to the moon in an instant. And Agent Yellow. That sounds horrifying. It's not just killing people, it's rewriting the planet's chemistry, making the ground itself hostile. Exploding rocks. Sulfuric acid. That directly ties back to Benny's journal entry, right? The exploding suns, the sulfuric acid seas, and Lynn's calling it God. That's chilling. It's ancient, powerful, world-altering technology. Or maybe biology. A terraforming tool gone wild. We've gone from local mystery to cosmic planetary threat.
Exactly. Now, while all that chaos is happening on the moon, think about Jason. He got left behind, remember. But he's not just moping, he's actually growing,
Yeah.
dealing with his own stuff, his jealousy, his marriage issues. And he gets proactive, finds the doctor's laptop, uses a parasol as an uplink antenna, brilliant, and hacks into NASA, finds doctored photos, weird magnetic readings under both mountains back on Earth, and under the moon, and the clincher. And the moon's orbit is unstable. It's wobbling. Why? Because there's a singularity, like a tiny black hole orbiting inside it.
Wow. Okay. So Jason's redemption arc is tied directly to figuring out the science. That's cool. He goes from being, frankly, a bit of a mess to this focused investigator, using ingenuity, the parasol antenna, to uncover what NASA and the military missed, the singularity inside the moon, connecting the dots between Earth anomalies and lunar instability. That's a huge leap. It shows the scale of this thing is even bigger than a moon base. It involves fundamental physics.
And it gets bigger still. Jason finds this. Personality matrix of the Astronomer Royal, stored in a crystal sponge thing, plays back history like a hologram. And he sees it. The Cthalctose, their home solar system getting destroyed by a black hole 6 billion years ago. And their desperate plans seed life somewhere else, Earth, using a terraforming platform inside our moon. That's the origin of Agent Yellow. They created it.
Right. Mind.
Oh.
So the Cthalctose, they're the ancient aliens. Agent Yellow wasn't a weapon. It was a life-seeding mechanism, a terraformer. And the moon isn't just rock, it's their platform, their arc. Oh my, that completely reframes everything. The threat isn't just some random alien plague, it's the byproduct of another species' ancient, desperate attempt at survival. It's an incredible twist. Humanity's potential extinction is linked to another species' genesis attempt billions of years ago. Talk about cosmic irony.
But wait, there's more. Jason gets hold of these time rings. Personal time travel. He goes back 6 billion years to the Cthalctose homeworld, gets put in suspended animation for 1,000 years, watches their whole civilization develop. He even gives them some of his tech force field emitters, and he realizes they knew their sun was dying, the black hole was coming, but they basically ignored it, just like he ignored his own problems.
Whoa. Time travel, too. This book packs it in. But that's profound. Jason seeing his own flaws reflected across billions of years in an entire alien race, that parallel ignoring existential threats, whether personal or planetary, that hits hard. It makes the Cthalctose less like distant aliens and more tragically familiar. It asks us, are we any different? Do we see the warnings? Do we act?
Right. So while Jason's having this epiphany across time, Benny, back on the moon base, figures out Jason took her ring. She knows he's trying to mess with the past.
Yeah.
And the doctor just says Jason's free will has ironically made him an agent of predestination. Calls paradoxes embarrassing. Typical doctor.
Ugh, the free will versus predestination debate. Love it. So did Jason's trip back cause things, or was it always meant to happen that way? The doctor's casual dismissal of paradoxes. It suggests maybe time isn't as fragile as we think, or maybe he just sees the bigger picture. But it puts Jason's actions in a weird light, doesn't it? Is he saving the past, changing it, or just playing his part in a script written billions of years ago?
Heavy stuff. And back in the present, if that word even means anything now, Agent Yellow is spreading on Earth. The doctor comes up with this absolutely horrifying plan using EMP. Crash the Cthalctose control systems on the moon, the Ark.
Yeah.
And liberate the singularities inside it. Then orbit these tiny black holes through Earth to sterilize the infected zones with X-rays, but it would kill everything in those areas. Total destruction to stop the infection. Then the final confrontation. On the moon, Betty's dying from Agent Yellow. She tells Jason, arm the bombs, nuclear warheads aimed at the moon, destroy the Cthalctose's power source, their ark, their last hope to save Earth.
Oh man, that choice. It's brutal. Sterilize parts of Earth with singularities, killing millions. Or nuke the moon, sacrificing the Cthalctose's entire legacy and future potential. It distills everything down to this impossible moral calculation, your world or theirs. An alien species that, yes, inadvertently caused the plague, but was just trying to survive. There's no right answer. It's just catastrophic loss either way. What value do you place on different lives, different civilizations, especially when survival is on the line?
It's gut-wrenching. And just as it seems hopeless, Chris, another character, reveals he has the gene map for a virus, a cure. Apparently, Immortal, the alien, telepathically got it from Liz Shaw before she died and planted it in Chris's mind. But it's too late to stop the doctor's plan. The singularities are freed. The moon gets destroyed, leaves behind a plane of radioactive glass.
Yeah.
But they have the cure. So the doctor, get this, inoculates survivors with something called Agent Scarlet vectors, including a sheep. Uses them to spread the antivirus through the food chain, like mad cow disease in reverse. Earth is saved, but it's scarred. A sick world, millions homeless, starving.
Wow. The cure comes from this unexpected collaboration, dying human, desperate alien transmitted telepathically. That's wild. And spreading it via sheep and the food chain? It's such a strange, almost biblical, yet scientifically twisted solution. Mad cow in reverse. It fits the theme, though. Finding hope in unexpected places, blending advanced knowledge with something earthy, basic. But yeah, the cost. Saving the world doesn't mean a happy ending. A scarred planet, a traumatized population, survival. But at what price?
And the personal cost is high, too.
Yeah.
The story ends with Benny and Jason getting divorced. We don't know exactly why. Was it the lie about the pregnancy? Was it the guilt over Earth surviving by destroying the Cthalctose's hope? Was it Jason not being able to, end Benny's suffering when she asked? It's left open. The doctor just says, I have walked in eternity, and eternity weeps, which sums up the sadness, the weight of it all. Benny's final act, tossing a Bible onto the ruined moon surface, asking destiny or coincidence. And that quote about God destroying the Earth brings the flood myth right back, but with this vast, tragic, cosmic scale.
That ending. It doesn't offer easy answers, does it? The ambiguity about their divorce feels right somehow. Trauma changes people, changes relationships in ways you can't always pin down. And that final question, destiny or coincidence? After everything they've been through, traversing billions of years, facing down ancient aliens and singularities, can you ever really know? It leaves you thinking about fate, choice, the sheer random chaos of the universe versus some underlying pattern. It's a powerful, lingering thought. Eternity weeping.
So there you have it, eternity weeps. We started with Benny's crumbling marriage, plunged through archaeology, military coups, alien revelations, time travel, and ended with Earth saved but scarred thanks to a 6-billion-year-old alien plan gone wrong and some truly impossible choices. We saw archaeology uncover cosmic secrets, relationships bend and break under pressure, and how this relentless search for knowledge, for answers, led to some incredibly profound truths about destiny and consequence.
And hopefully, you, listening, now have a real sense of this story's depth. It's not just a sci-fi adventure, it asks huge questions about our place in the cosmos, the ethics of survival when species clash, and that thin, blurry line between pure chance and unavoidable fate.
So here's something to chew on, building on that final question. Considering everything we've talked about, if humanity's survival really did depend on destroying another species' last chance, an innocent species, arguably, and you found out your choices were somehow part of making that happen, part of that destiny, would you still make the same calls? Knowing the cost, knowing that eternity itself might weep over it. Think about that maybe the next time you look up at the moon. And remember the story of the Cthalctose, Agent Yellow, and that a plane of radioactive glass.